Danger! Danger! Robots are coming this week on America's Attic.
This week on America's Attic, the gang and I run into a guy with one crazy collection of toy robots, and we come face to face with the most famous robot of them all.
I'm Dennis Baker.
I'm Ken Beck.
And I'm Sarah Kirby.
And you're watching America's Attic, where we travel the highways
And the byways.
In search of?
the strange.
And the oh so bizarre.
Now, this week, we've got something really fascinating that we are in some place. Where are we?
We're in my lovely home state of Tennessee.
Somewhere in mysterious Tennessee, where they have some really cool robots. The
Ooh.
guy is Robot Guy. That's his name, Robot Guy. Oh my goodness, this is my favorite movie, Plato Rhubarb Necktie.
Wrong movie, Dennis. That's The Day the Earth Stood Still.
What is this one?
This is Lost in Space, where the robot was named the Robot.
The robot is the robot? All right, well, apparently this guy has lots of robots, so Ken, we're gonna get the scoop on this?
I think we are. We're going to check out this very 1960 series sci-fi TV show.
After a quick look at one of the world's largest selection of toy robots, it was time for Ken to sit down and get the scoop on what we came looking for.
I'm with Ron the Robot Man, and he has got a man cave, actually a robot cave full of robots from every size from 5 inches high to 6 feet tall. Ron, how did you get started collecting robots?
Well, actually, when I was in junior high school, I built a robot for the science fair.
Wow.
And ever since then, I've been hooked on them.
About how many do you have in your collection?
I'd say approximately 350.
350, wow. Well, do you have a favorite robot?
Of course, my favorite is the bigger ones in the other room.
Well, we'll get to those in a minute then. Tell us a little bit about some of these here.
This guy here is Marvelous Mike, and he was made in 1954. And of course, he's got the little robot that drives the bulldozer.
Wow.
And this little guy here was made in 1947, and he's actually considered the second toy robot made.
What year was the first one made?
2 years before.
2 years before, so that was in 1945.
Right.
And then how about this astronaut guy? Tell us about him.
All right, he's from the 60s, and he came out when NASA started getting real big. They got all the kids that wanted to be astronauts, and that's when they brought him out.
All right, man. So these are some of the smaller ones. In just a few minutes, we're going to take a look at some big robots.
Ron also had a few very odd items I just had to ask him about.
So Ron, what exactly is this?
No, this is actually a real baby incubator from 1931.
Do you think he's gonna make it?
I'm not sure, but it looks like E.T. did more than just bone home. So, looks like a baby pressure cooker.
What is this strange invention of Thomas Edison? The world's first device for listening to messages from outer space? The world's first phonograph? Or a device for communicating with the dead? The answers when we return on America's Attic.
Ron's got 3 or 4 life-size robots. Ron, tell us about this big fella.
Well, I don't know much about him, but I had to trade a lot of signs for him.
You traded for this 7-foot-tall robot. Who made it?
The story is, the guy I got it from bought it in Kingsport, Tennessee, and took it to Alabama, and I got it from him. This was made by the guy that created Donkey Kong, and he made it for the Jerry Lewis Telethon.
Well, tell me about this fella.
This guy I made about 17 years ago was the first robot I ever made.
How many have you made?
3 altogether.
As we moved on to the big robots, Ken was about to be introduced to the most famous robot of them all. Edison actually invented a device that he thought could communicate with the dead.
But we think this is the robot that was in the 1960s sci-fi series Lost in Space. Ron, tell us about him.
The guy that had this thing said that they was transporting a robot from Florida to New York, and somewhere in between, the kids that was transporting him had a wreck, and they got scared and dumped him. And the city ended up with him, and then of course this guy ended up with him. And I tried to trade him out of it for 7 years and couldn't touch it. And then he sold the robot to another person. He called me a few years later and said, "The robot you want, Ron, the guy that's got it is ready to trade it."
The B9 sure looked like the real thing from the TV series, but Ken would weigh in on what he thought.
So this robot, called the Robot, could he really be the one that was used on Lost in Space? Some sources say there were just 2, others say there were several. So is this one of the real ones? We may never know. But as far as Ron's concerned, this robot will be in his family from here to eternity.
Thanks for joining us as we roll down
The highways and the byways.
looking for the strange
And the bizarre.
right here on
America's Attic.